Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Natural Living. It's lovely to have you and see you here. I hope you're all doing really well. So today's video, you're actually coming along with me on a little trip to the BBC Gardeners World live show, which is actually at the NEC in Birmingham. So I'm literally parked up here now, which is super exciting. And yeah, I'm basically going to bring you along for the day. It is absolutely chucking it down with rain at the moment. And I'm literally wearing a summer's dress and sandals. So I'm going to get soaked and freezing, but we will not let that deter us from having a good time. I am so excited to check out all the plants, get some inspiration for gardens and future gardens. And I definitely want to check out like the houseplant area and see if we can find any lovely new house plants that I can add to my ever-growing collection. So I'm just sat waiting for my mum and dad to come along and join me, and then we're gonna head off and get going. So if you haven't already, maybe grab a cup of tea and get all cozy, and I hope you enjoy this vlog. Friendly reminder that if you ever want to come to the UK in June, just don't bother. Go to Spain, go to France, Italy, anywhere but here. It's freezing. So here we are at Gardeners World Live. This was such a lovely event. I cannot recommend it enough. But as you can see, as we're walking in here, there are so many different stalls of really inspirational things. Like this was basically a giant pot that they had turned into a pond, and there was another pot there with beautiful yellow flowers in that you can see. It was a really, really inspirational place. There were so many new ideas and tips and tricks that we picked up there. I particularly loved this kind of arrangement of pots, and this kind of amazing Asian style dragon pot was really, really cool. We also checked out these greenhouses, which was amazing for future inspiration, you know, one day manifesting that greenhouse in the garden. We then come to one of my favourite bits about this Gardeners World Live event, the house plants. Like there were so many incredible plants here, so many weird and wonderful creations, some of which I actually hadn't seen before, which for me is quite rare. I mean, I have been loving and collecting house plants for years now, so it was really amazing to get to speak to the stall sellers as well. You know, they really, really know their stuff, so it was great to get some advice from them on any plants that I may have at home that are struggling with, and also just to see the variety of stuff that is out there. It's insane. My mum and dad also ended up buying a couple of houseplants as well. So, you know, the bug is catching. But I will show you at the end of this video actually what I did pick up, because it was basically all houseplants. And one thing I will definitely say is the prices here were so reasonable, way more reasonable than, you know, your kind of average garden centre. So that was a definite plus. So after we had adequately explored the inside, we then went out to this amazing space outside. Luckily, it had dried off by then because it was chucking it down earlier in the day, but we kind of timed it well. So we ended up going outside in the afternoon. And as you can see, it was actually quite sunny. But this was such a beautiful place. I absolutely loved this kind of garden in particular because, as you will see, the little chickens were so cute. I absolutely loved this idea. I thought it was really, really quaint and wonderful. And lots of these gardens won awards. You can see this is a beautiful vegetable garden using pallets for the veg beds, which I thought was such a cool idea. And I loved the sort of rustic arch here that you can see in this garden. Lots and lots of inspiration. And so we then went into the tent that was outside and we saw all this amazing produce. It was literally like, I don't know if at school you ever kind of had like a harvest festival, but that's what it kind of felt like. There was then this huge orchid exhibition that basically took up a big chunk of the inside tent, and there was such a plethora of orchids, so many different types. I had no idea there were these many types of orchids, and genuinely I felt like I've come away with a new appreciation for them. And last but not least, we see these amazing Jurassic, I think they're carnivorous plants. These were actually some of my favorite plants. I just thought they were so like alien. They look like they should be in a Star Wars film or something. I thought they were so cool. Hello guys, so it has been just under a week since I got back from Gardens World Live. And I just wanted to do a little bit of a summary of what I thought. I thought we could have a bit of a coffee and catch up. And I can also show you the plethora of plants I may have purchased. Bit of alliteration for you there. As you can tell, I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Oh, so nice. Right, so Gardens World Live. Oh my gosh. If you can go, I definitely recommend it. It was so lovely. It was such a wonderful kind of wholesome day. So we went into the actual NEC building, and that was the first part that you saw, with basically lots of stalls, lots of garden kind of shops with things like outdoor furniture, a few plants you could buy. There was the houseplant section there, which you can see I spent quite a bit of time at. And what else was there? Things like fountains, greenhouses, many a greenhouse in there. It was really, really cool. And you know what? People were so lovely and friendly. Like, everybody we spoke to was so nice, so just happy to be there. And I feel like that's definitely, if you're into gardening, that's kind of the feel of the community. Like, everybody's just so friendly and happy and chill. People are quite chill. So it was really, really lovely. Definitely enjoyed it. It was also great because we could go inside while it was absolutely chucking it down with rain, and then it kind of got a bit drier in the afternoon and we could go outside. And the outside was amazing because I didn't know that they had an outside bit in the NEC, but that was so cool. So that's where we saw, you know, like the mini gardens they do, like people style up and then they get awarded and they get judged. That was really, really interesting. Lots of really cool inspiration. My favorite was the one with the chicken run. I thought that was so cool. It was such a lovely idea, especially if you do have a little garden. It just shows, like, if you're creative, you can come up with some really, really cool stuff. So 10 out of 10, I loved that garden. I thought it was stunning. And incidentally, the chickens that they had, you'll notice they were kind of like a lavendery grey colour, and the breed is a little bantam. It's called a lavender Peking. And I used to have a chicken of that breed when I was a little girl, and I called her Lavender, and she used to come and sit on my lap. She was so cute. So it was like a proper, like, wholesome, cute moment. But I really enjoyed it. And then we went inside the tent and there was like an orchid display, I think it was. I think that was kind of what they were, I don't know, focusing on that year, I'm not sure. But the orchids were stunning. There were so many different types. I had no idea that there was that much variation. Because you go in the supermarket and you see, you know, the same kind of type all the time, but no, like there is a real broad spectrum. And there are also scented orchids and some of them smell divine. It was incredible. Really recommend you go. I think it's once a year, so maybe this time next year you could check out the tickets. I think they do have like flash offers as well, because we bought the tickets in March and they had 25% off the price. So I definitely recommend maybe going onto the website and subscribing to the email list, because they will email you when they've got discounts on the tickets, which is how we got the money off. So definitely recommend checking that out and giving it a go if you can. So enough wombling, enough waffling. Let's move on to the plant. So I actually sat here because I have one here which you can't see, which I thought you would. So it's this one here. I will show you a better close-up over this, but I absolutely love, I think they're Monstera something. I will find the name and insert it because I'm not very good. I am really bad with houseplant names. That was one I bought and I absolutely love him. He is stunning. The next one I got is this. This is so cool. I think it's obviously a type of grass, and I popped it in this clear, it's kind of like a hurricane lantern that I actually found in a charity shop for like £2. So bargain there. But he is very happy. He lives in my windowsill and I just think it's so cool. It's a wonderful kind of spiral effect plant. Really enjoy this one. He was really cool. I think he wasn't that expensive either. I think he was like a £5. That one was a bit more expensive. I think it was like £15 or so, but it's a bigger plant and they are more unusual. So, and it's got new leaves on it already, that one. Anyway, I need to stop going on about that plant. I clearly have preferences. The next one was a little cacti or cactus. Sorry if that clinked then. A little cactus here. This one is, it's kind of like, these aren't spines, they're just sort of like little dots, but I thought that it was really unusual shape. It's kind of like a chubby starfish, if you will. And I put it in this old candle jar, which I've had for ages, and I just cleaned it out. And he, again, this one's really happy. I think those are like little buds coming on the top here. I don't know if you can see those. I think those are little buds coming, which is obviously the sign of a happy plant. Next up, we have, I mean, you can't even see it, look. This is ridiculous, you can't see it. There we go, there you go, brilliant shot. This is what I got next. I haven't quite potted it up properly yet, I haven't got around to it, but you can see it has lots of little happy babies and new shoots coming through, which is lovely. And this wonderful new leaf that's coming through too. It did actually have 2 other larger leaves, but unfortunately it was lost in the journey. It did get a little bit squashed because I literally bought this not first thing, but I got it quite early on and it was just being carried around all day and I think it did struggle a bit. So its top leaf isn't, this is ridiculous, isn't looking the healthiest, but it has new growth. It looks healthy and I love the dark stems. I thought it was really cool, quite kind of gothic. It's almost like a really dark purple, which is really unusual. Really pleased with this. This kind of lives in our bedroom underneath the windowsill in a north facing window because I don't think this does well in, you know, direct sunlight. I think it can sunburn the leaves. So yeah, if you do have one of these, again, I will try and find the name because I'm really bad at plant names. Oh, I wonder if it's got it on the pot. Plant pass. Oh, Colocasia, is that it? Yeah, Colocasia, there you go. There's the name. As you can see, it was £9, so it's bargain. They had like some really reasonably priced stuff there, actually. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it would be a place, my mum said this as well, that we just go for inspiration and then kind of have to buy stuff from other places, but the stuff was really good prices. I was pleasantly surprised, actually. Then we have this little guy. I love snake plants. I think they're so cool. So this actually, I've got this hanging above my desk over there. And it is so, I just think it's wonderful. It's a really quirky, unusual plant. And as you can see, it's got babies coming through already. There's another one there. So it's obviously happy in its new home, which is really positive. I think, yeah, it's got the price on it. So this, yeah, it's a snake plant and the type is Fernwood, I believe, and it was $5.99. So really, really pleased with that. Then the penultimate plant is this guy. I love these types of plants. I think they're called prayer plants. Okay, so this doesn't have a label, so I can't tell you exactly what this plant is, but I believe that they are prayer plants. Lots of people find these really difficult to manage. I don't get that. I have loads of prayer plants. I think they're really cool and quite touch wood. Easy to look after. I put them underneath a windowsill, not directly in a windowsill, and just make sure that they don't dry out, because if they do dry out they will wilt, and then you know that you need to water them. But what happens when that happens, if they get too dry and they wilt, you see like these crispy bits at the end of the leaves, and that shows that this has been underwatered previously. But again, it's got some, look at this lovely new leaf coming through. So yeah, it's a really healthy, happy plant, and I love it. I love the dark kind of understems. I think it's really unusual. And then the pièce de résistance, the last one, is this one. It is stunning. I absolutely love this. I thought it reminded me very much of like variegated ivy. I thought it was really unusual. I've never seen a plant like this in like a garden centre or anything like that. Unfortunately, I don't know the name off the top of my head, so I will insert it. But this is quite expensive. This is £22. But as you can see, like it's, I mean, in level with my head. And I've got a big head. Like this is a huge plant, and it's very heavy as well. So I need to find an appropriate vessel for it, because I'm not particularly keen on this kind of plastic grey thing. I will keep the pot for gardening uses, but I think to have it displayed, it needs something a bit nicer. But this needs to go in a windowsill because it is variegated. It needs a lot of sunlight, because obviously the white means it can't photosynthesize on those little white bits there. So yeah, it needs more sunlight than the other guys that I've shown you. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that little plant haul and trip with me to Gardener's World. A 10 out of 10 would recommend if you are living in the UK, or even if, I don't know, you happen to be holidaying here around that time of year. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And if you're into gardening or nature or anything like that, yeah, recommend a visit. Anyway, I will let you get on with your day. Let me know in the comments below if you've been to BBC Gardener's World or you've been to gardening shows, whether you enjoy gardening, how it finally feels to have some sunshine in the UK so we can be in our gardens. Anyway, I will let you get on with your day. Stay happy and blessed be.